G'day everyone, it's just me here so far. I'm Crystal, for anyone who doesn't know. Okay, today Robin will be joining us in a minute, and Mel's on her way home, so she's home, she'll be here. Okay, and Ash's power went out, so we're hoping her power gets restored. Okay, so I did a marathon of this Harry and Meghan thing last night. I did a binge watch. Okay, and I'll start out by saying I'd been paying attention to the media a lot, okay, because I've been making videos about the media reaction, and it was interesting to see how different it was to what the media was showing. Okay, it was, very different. Let me just make it so I can see the comments. Okay, Squabber, you can still be a guy, okay, but if you want to be an honourable lady, that's fine. Okay, I made so many notes about this, it's ridiculous. Okay, but the biggest takeaways I had was about 20 minutes into episode 3, I decided I'm with Harry and Meghan. Okay, I'm on team Harry and Meghan, or H&M, because those nicknames are weird. Get into that later. Okay, but then about an hour later, okay, because this is 6 hours, I thought it became a bit much like a history lesson. Okay, there's a lot of, I don't know, like telling us about the history of like the Commonwealth and stuff like this, which, to be fair, some of it I didn't know, but most of it I did. Okay, and I felt it was a little preachy. Okay, I would prefer they just showed like the clips of like they're talking about like the trolls on social media and stuff like that. I prefer they just showed us that. I didn't say it's because of this. Okay, yeah, it probably is, but let us draw our own conclusions. Okay, it was a bit too much like, hey, 1 + 1 = 2, not letting us go, hey, what's 1 + 1? Okay. And hi, Cake or Dev. Nice to see you. Oh, Cake or. Okay. Is that a different name or is it a different person? Nice to see you both here. Okay. I don't know if you guys have watched this. Okay, so yeah, it's a 6-part docu-series on Netflix, and yeah, it got a bit long. Okay, I am so tired. You can see the bags. Okay. Yeah, the first episode, it was all about Harry. Okay, and like him growing up. And I found myself smiling through most of it. I was like, yeah, that's nice. And then when like Princess Di came on, I was like, it was a little sad. Yeah, Britain. They mentioned that in the in the documentary that Britain led the freedom of like slaves and that, but they also go into how like the monarchy and the British public profited from it before that. Okay, and that how in schools now all they teach in Britain is about how they abolished slavery, not about what happened before that. Okay. Yay, lucky. Sorry, you confused me for a second there. I'm like, I assumed it was you, Cake or Death, but then I'm like, wait a second. Maybe it's just someone with the same name. And hi, Melanie. Okay. So, from the first episode, yeah, I found them very likable. Okay. Yeah, and like you can tell they love each other. Okay. I was like, someone doesn't agree with me. Okay, but that's okay. It's okay to disagree. Okay. I thought that Harry probably has a lot of childhood trauma. Okay. Oh, the school's comment. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Well, that's what they said in the doco. Okay. That one of the guys that was being interviewed said, "This is all I learned in school." Okay, and I took that. Oh no. Okay. Can anyone else hear me? Oh, it's Melanie's volume. Okay, not mine. Sorry, I just got a brand new microphone, so I wasn't sure, okay, if it was me or not. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm not so sure, okay, after watching this, okay. And I was a little on the fence to begin with, to be honest. Okay, just I've personally had dealings with the Daily Mail, okay? They just run with anything, okay? Like they took a Facebook post I made, this was about 5 years ago, okay, and mixed it with a Twitter feed by someone else and attributed it all to me, okay, and said that everything in that Twitter account was by me. They named me and my employer. They got my employer wrong. Okay, it was very similar employer though. Okay, okay, and yeah, attributed this whole Twitter feed to like me, and it wasn't me. Okay, and when I told them, hey, it's not me, no one reached out to me. They're like, oh, well, we sent you a DM on Instagram, okay, and you didn't respond, so that's good enough. I'm like, I never use Instagram. There's probably like 2 pictures on there from like 10 years ago. Okay, and that was, yeah. Yeah, so I'll go back to what I was saying. Childhood trauma for Harry. Okay, it's there. Okay. As it would for anyone in that situation. I bet you William has it too. Okay. I think he also has like an idealized version of Diana. Okay. And I think most of the world does. Okay. And this is nothing against her. Okay, but I think that any child who loses a parent, like when they're young, okay, they build up an idealized version in their head, and add in that all the media, and how after she died it like changed. Okay, like before she died, when she was alive, it was very negative. I remember that, like covers of every magazine every week. Okay, were about her and who she was dating and how dare she wear that dress or whatever. Okay, and then after she died, it was like she was a people's princess. Okay, which is true. Okay, like I think the press saw how much everyone loved her, and they're like, oh, we can never write anything negative about her again. And then he's grown up reading only positive things. Okay, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. The British tabloids are less than dirt under our shoes. Very much so. Okay, there's a bit more about the media coming up. Okay. The other thing I took away from the first episode were the nicknames. I don't know, I found it quite jarring, but by the end of episode 6, I was in my notes referring to them by their nicknames. Okay, so it's like Meghan and even her friends will call Harry H. It's just H. Okay. And he refers to her as M. Like all I can think about is a H&M store. Like I don't know if that's in the US or in the UK. I'm pretty sure it is. It's like a fast fashion type shop. Okay. Okay. Yep, this one comes up to Harry and William being treated differently. Okay, that does come up. Okay. Okay, and the other nicknames, okay, which were Has, okay, like on Meghan's phone, it came up as Has. And apparently everyone calls Meghan Meg or M. I think maybe Harry only calls her M. I didn't hear anyone else call her that. Okay. Sorry, I have to keep an eye on my other screen to see when the others pop in to add them into the chat and onto the screen. Okay. So episode 1 was all about Harry. Okay, and it was up to it was like when they started dating to when the relationship was made public. So they focused on the past, which was his childhood, pretty much, and then their relationship. Okay, up to when it went public. The second episode was all about Meghan and her growing up, and then up to the relationship up to the engagement. Okay. And it also talks about how the tabloids in the UK are the arbiters of public opinion, and they have the power to sway public opinion, okay, and the power to change governments, etc. And that is very true. And I think it's naive to think it isn't. Like, it's even true here. Like, people don't necessarily buy the newspapers, okay, but then what the newspapers publish, okay, and our tabloid media here in Australia is nothing like it is in the UK, but we do have some, okay, what they publish, okay, then gets picked up by every TV station, every radio station, and it becomes what they talk about, okay, so it isn't necessarily how many people are reading the newspaper, it's how many outlets are using their stories to make their hot topics kind of thing. Okay, and then I felt that it was being portrayed that Harry needs to protect Meghan because Charles didn't protect Diana. So he's doing like the opposite of what his dad did. Okay, there's a quote in there that I wrote down, and it's from Harry, and he's talking about activism on race, but it works well for like pretty much their entire situation. And he said, when my kids grow up and they look back at this moment and they turn to me and say, what did you do in this moment? I want to be able to give them an answer. And I thought, I think that's like his motivation for everything, to be honest. Okay, now I've made some notes about the response to the media here. So I saw a lot of like press coverage about how she's all about how she lived with her mum and all that. And she doesn't even mention that she lived with her dad, but she does. Okay, and she talks about how her parents co-parented her. Okay, and how her dad was involved in school, in like her school, and would like work on like the sets for her theatre stuff at school, and how he worked on the Married with Children show and would take her to set, which she loved, and how she was a daddy's girl. And that her older siblings, the brother and sister, the ones that are always in the media, okay, how they'd already moved out, okay, when they're 17 years older than her, okay, 17 years and older, okay, so she never really lived with them, never really got to know them, okay, when she was growing up, her dad lived alone, okay, and it goes into her volunteer work and her activism, stuff like that. My head on money. Well, Charles has got to come first. Sorry. We'll probably be changing our money next year, I think. Okay. Apparently the Queen, along with Jenny and Fergie, were the first royals that Meghan met. Okay, and she didn't know that she was going to be meeting the Queen. Okay, they were on their way to tea at Windsor or something. I can't remember. I didn't write down where they were going. Okay. And on the car ride there, so I think she was probably just expecting to meet Eugenie, which is Prince Andrew's daughter. Okay. And he tells her in the car on the way there that his grandmother will probably be there. And does she know how to curtsy? Okay. And then she thinks he's joking. Okay. And that's when she tells that medieval time story that you see in the media all the time. You know, the one when she does that exaggerated curtsy. Okay. What the media doesn't show is they've clipped a bit out. Okay. If you have seen that clip where they show him looking at her on the couch, she's sitting on the couch and she's talking about how she meets the Queen. Okay. And she does this story about how medieval, she thought of it like medieval times, you know, how they curtsy in that. And she does this big, long, exaggerated curtsy. Okay. And the media is slamming her for this. Okay. And saying how embarrassed Harry was by by her doing that. Okay, but what they clip out is like 1 second between when she does the curtsy and when she goes on to like explain it a bit more, like she talks after it. He does like this smirk giggle thing. It's kind of like a halfway to a snort, not quite a snort, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah. And that like 1 second has been cut out of like every news segment I've seen. And I'm like, ooh. Okay, and that's what I noticed that straight away because I'd seen it quite a few times already. I'm like, wait a second, that's not the same. Okay, I actually replayed it a few times. I'm like, yeah, that's what they've done. Okay, yeah. Then, yeah, Eugenie and Fergie were there as well, and they said that she did great with the Queen. Okay, there was no things. Yeah. Then she talks about meeting Will and Kate. Okay, I've noticed, okay, throughout all the episodes, okay, that they're actually quite positive towards like the Queen, Prince Philip, like that's the Queen's husband. Okay, they're even like up until like the last episode or maybe the last 2 episodes, they're even positive towards Charles. Okay, like, and although they don't really say anything negative about anyone, okay, they don't say anything positive about William and Catherine, and I found that a bit telling. Okay, so that's yeah. Okay, there's also like the media has said a lot about how they film their proposal and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, even if they did, that's kind of normal these days, isn't it? Like, I know my sister's, my one sister who's married, her proposal I think was filmed. Okay, my brother-in-law gave a camera to someone else. They were on vacation in Africa, and by a lake. Okay, and he gave a camera to someone that was on like staying at the hotel with them. Okay, or wherever, like resort or I don't know, jungle nest. I don't know what it's called. Okay, and I've seen pictures. I haven't seen a video though, but like it's something people do these days, isn't it? Just take photos. But it wasn't actually filmed. Okay, what it is it's a video message that she's left for a friend when Harry was setting up the proposal. Like he's laying out all the candles, and she rings up a friend, like it sends a video message saying that's normal. It's happening. It's happening. That's all it is. And then they take a photo, and the media's like, "Oh, how dare they take a photo of this?" I'm like, I think everyone does. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then they talk about Brexit. Okay, and they say immigration was an issue. Okay, and it's how taking back the nation and stuff like that, and how it's all the racial undertones. Okay, and that's all true. Okay, it just is. Okay, maybe not everyone who voted for Brexit was voting because of immigration and race, but there was definitely undertones about it in Brexit. Okay, and it ends with like that she believed what she was being told, that it will get better once they get married. It will get better. Okay, like that, like the media coverage. Once the media gets to know you and the public gets to know you, it will get better. And she still believed it at this point, and that's up until they get engaged. Okay, I'm a middle child. Brothers are bound to have rivalries. Yeah. Okay. Royal children go to public schools, McDonald's, bike through the city, and no one gets hunted. This is a clear code of conduct with the media, and it works. It does in like the rest of Europe. I don't think it works so well in the UK. Like like see the royal family in like the Netherlands or in Denmark or Monaco. Like they can do whatever they want. Okay, pretty much. And when they're in public engagements, the media are there. But when they're not, then they're pretty much just left alone, from my understanding. But in the UK, I think it's very different. Okay. then we get to episode 3. So this is the one where I made up my mind that I'm on their side. And this goes all the way up to the wedding. And in this episode, they're just talking about the press, pretty much, the entire thing. Okay, race and colonialism are strong themes. Okay, unconscious bias. Okay, and then they start talking about Harry starts talking about the Nazi uniform thing. I don't know if people remember that, where he wore he went to a fancy dress party and wore a Nazi uniform, and he says it was the biggest mistake in his life, and that he learnt from it. That he met with like certain people. I missed the name of the first person that he met with, but he also went to Berlin and met with a Holocaust survivor. Okay, and how if you don't play the game and perform for the press, you get bad media. Like if you don't smile enough for their pictures, they'll write bad stories about you, stuff like that. Okay, the friends of Meghan and her mother talk about how they were themselves were being hounded, and their parents and their friends. Okay, like one of her friends said that like someone was hounding her parents' house. Okay, trying to get like a quote. Okay, or something like that. Okay. Yeah, so there's an unwritten contract that presented in the media that the taxpayer pays to the royal family, and in return, those payments there is an expectation that the royal family will be available for the media. Okay, we pay, you pose. Okay, and there's one thing that I really noticed. Like I saw this news footage, and I'm gonna play it for you because I've clipped it down to the short as I can. It's about the pact between the media and the royal family. It's just over a minute. Okay, because I've cut it down so much because I know copyright doesn't like this stuff. And Mel will be here when we get back.
That there has been a sort of unwritten pact between the media and the palace, and that he has suffered as a result of it.
Well, let's be fair. That's kind of true. I mean, there is a royal protocol. All of us journalists who come up close to the royal family have to adhere to certain rules.
You have to play by the rule book.
You have to play by the rule book, and newspapers know as well that if they fall foul, if the heir or the next in line to the throne is wronged, it doesn't get looked upon favourably.
Yes and no, and I think you're right as well. And I think there is absolutely a sort of listen. If you don't play by the rules, if you're going to be difficult or break those rules, then you'll be out. So it's not to say the papers won't be critical of William, but I was reminded and wrote a commentary piece in Vanity Fair last night about Harry feeling that he would always cop the flak and William would get away scot-free. Now, he raised the episode over the Nazi-wearing scandal in the last 3 episodes and said it was his biggest mistake of his life, his greatest regret. He was shopping with William for that costume when he chose it. William could have said, well, maybe this isn't the best idea. He could have perhaps helped his brother out. But it was Harry that got the flak for that. It was Harry that got the flak when his underage drinking was splashed all over the news of the world back in 2002. Yep. What wasn't made such a big deal of was that William was also at that pub. So this idea of protecting the heir because Harry's being the spare. And I think there is something to be said for the fact that a lot of this comes down to good old-fashioned sibling rivalry.
Yeah, so I found that quite telling. Okay. Like I remember as soon as I watched that episode and he's talking about this, I immediately went and tried to find that clip. Because I'm like, this is true. Hi Mel.
Hello. And hello everyone in chat. Hi Squad Bob. Hey Cake of Death. Hi Melanie.
Okay.
What did I miss?
So I've been talking about
I have my coffee. I just came from the gym.
Fair enough. Okay. What I've been doing is just going through my notes of each episode. Okay, I'm up to episode 3. Okay. And I stopped making notes after that because it got a bit lectury and a little bit boring on my I thought. Okay, I actually started fast forwarding bits. Okay.
Oh really?
From episode 4 onwards, I was like, I don't need to see this. Okay, but okay. But yeah, so episode 3 was like it was very strong. How press bad. Okay, and about racism and colonialism. Okay, that was like all episode 3.
Squad Bob has almond milk.
Yeah. Why
I love that.
almond?
Squad Bob is it black coffee or mixed? Why almond? Because I can't take dairy.
Okay, fair enough. Oh yes, I see it now. Okay, yeah. And then what else did they go? Okay, Meghan.
I've watched so much in one lump. Everything is kind
Yeah.
of like I can't remember what episode is what now.
Yeah. Well, I binged it all last night. Like literally, I started watching it at 10 o'clock last night. It's now 6:30 in the morning. Okay.
Yeah, I got up at like 3 a.m. to watch episode 3.
Yeah, it was not a fun night. I had a nap in the middle. Okay. So in towards the end of episode 3, okay. Oh, okay, yeah. She talks about
Was
how
that the wedding episode 3?
it's up to the wedding. From
Yeah.
when they get engaged to the wedding. So their entire engagement is episode 3. Okay. She talks about how she reckons that the media was initially trying to go after her mother's side of the family for the drama.
Yep, I remember
Okay.
that.
Okay, but then like her dad's side just went crazy.
Nuts.
Okay.
Yeah, her sister or whatever going, oh yeah, I brought Meghan up, blah blah blah, and then it was the niece and stuff like that had been taken away from that aunt,
Yeah.
and just
Okay.
because and then like the niece being really upset just because there was issues with her mum that she doesn't speak to, she wasn't able to go to the wedding.
I know, that was like so sad. I'm like,
I know, I watched some. It's so heartbreaking,
like,
especially if you're so close to someone as well, and just due to like, you know, like this woman that you don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's like, but there was thousands of people like at the ceremony. They could have snuck her in as a +1.
I know. That's what I'm just like. Don't say who she is. Like, just have her
Just,
like be like, oh, it's just another guest. Was she not allowed to? No one would have known.
Okay,
No one would have known.
Like they had like Serena Williams and Abigail Spencer. Okay, Abigail Spencer was on Suits with her. I don't know if you ever watched Suits. Okay, they were sitting kind of next to each other in the like at the front. Okay, I'm like, all I could have said was it was like Abby's date or something.
Yeah, just another friend. Just another friend.
Yeah. Okay. Don't give a last name, but the last name was different anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Melanie, you're cute.
I've actually got in big bold print here. Now I need to go watch Nate the lawyer's video with Samantha Markle.
So is it Nate the lawyer interviewed the sister, and apparently she has a defamation lawsuit going through that court, overruled H&M. Oh, moved to strike. Yeah, now I have to watch that now.
Okay, he watched the Netflix special with her, like, and they've made a video series.
Oh wow! So, yeah, I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, there was this quote.
Like, maybe we can watch them watch it.
Okay. Okay. Meghan goes about Samantha Markle. This is her half sister, who's like at least 17 years older than her. Says,
yeah,
I don't even know your middle name. I don't know your birthday. Okay. And then she's in the media everywhere. Okay. She doesn't remember seeing her at all when she was a kid. Okay.
Well, if it's 17 years difference, like I've got a lot of family that I don't know. Like so my mum was the youngest of 7 children. Right. So there's 20 years difference between my mum and her elder sister. A lot of the family had already grown up, moved different places in Australia, everything. So it's just like I didn't even see any of my cousins or meet any of my cousins until my grandmother's funeral, where someone would come up going, oh, I'm your cousin such and such. I don't think we've ever met. And it's just like, it's literally a first cousin. And I hadn't met them before. So I actually don't find that strange.
Neither do I. Like my mum has 2 older sisters and I think maybe an older brother that she's never met.
Mm.
Okay, like they're half siblings.
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause her father, she was like, my grandmother was the second wife.
Mm.
Okay, and my grandfather died when my grandmother was pregnant with my mum. So by the time my mum was born, everything had already been sorted out, and like regarding the
Mm.
estate, and yeah, and it's like, well, yeah,
Mm.
this is actually not that unusual. Like it's not
Yeah.
common, but it's not unusual.
Yeah.
If that makes sense at all.
It's just like maybe it's just an Australian thing.
Alright. Okay. Yeah, and what else she said? She said they didn't have a fallout. They just never had a closeness. They didn't know each other well
Mm.
to begin with. They weren't part of each other's lives. So it's not like they had a fight or something. They just didn't know each
Mm.
other.
What did Cake say? Watch it. You'll see the receipts and photos. She lived in the apartment below M and her dad and was part of the childcare family events. And oh, well, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I have to go back and
Yeah, we have to watch the other side of the story.
Yeah.
We're only seeing half the
Yeah.
story here.
Yeah, because that's the thing though, because there's just so much reported in the media about like both of them, and now they've brought out this, and it's just like
Yeah.
anything, the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
That's just what I
Amen.
believe anyway.
Yeah, and then Ashley, like Samantha's daughter, had nothing nice to say about her mother. Okay, like
Yeah,
at
I'm not
all.
surprised.
Okay, yeah. I won't get into that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've got again, big bold. Now I need to go watch Nate the lawyer's videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's so
And,
good. I love watching Nate.
he's like the one lawyer on YouTube that I still watch. Well, the normal and in the middle. And apparently we need to watch the behavior panel. And Robin's here.
Hello.
G'day.
Oh yes,
Good
I
afternoon.
like the behavioural panel as well. I'll definitely have to have a look.
Hey, so I've just been going through my notes of the episodes, and Mel joined us about 5 minutes ago, maybe
Yeah,
10 minutes ago.
fine.
No, yeah, we're up to like talking episode 3, and we've just been talking about Samantha Markle. Okay, and
oh yeah,
how she just did a couple of episodes of Nate the Lawyer's show, where they watch the Netflix together. Okay, so we need to go watch that now and compare the two. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And then then Ashley's not invited to the wedding. Okay, that was like the next bit after they talk about Samantha. And how she was hurt, but she understood. I would be like so much madder than she
You know
was.
what? If you're so close to someone and that
Yeah.
happened, you'd be devastated, because like
Mhm.
weddings are like such a big event in someone's life that if you're really, really close to someone, you can understand.
Well,
absolutely.
the way I was thinking about it is,
It's like a
if she
betrayal.
had married anyone else, Ashley probably would have been a bridesmaid.
Yeah,
Okay.
most
But
probably.
because she's marrying into the royal family, she can't even go. Okay, it's just ridiculous. Robin comes on and there's already homework.
Yeah.
We won't do an episode about Harry.
It's okay, like that. The whole story, I became very, very involved in it. It's like you end up getting like pulled in, and you're rooting for people, and
Yeah.
Well,
I already said this to the audience, but I haven't said it to you guys. Okay. By this time, but like halfway through episode 3, I was like on team Meghan and Harry.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then by halfway through episode 4, I was like, this is boring.
Yeah, I'm partway. I just sort of was partway through episode 4 before I had to leave for the gym. So
yeah,
but no, definitely even towards episode 1, you kind of you just kind of got the feeling it's just like, finally that we can, because they're like, why do you want to do this? And it's like legitimately, it's just like,
hi Melanie.
we want to tell our story. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you know what? That's fair enough. And someone's like, oh, it's a cash grab. It's this, it's that. They want to be relevant, blah, blah, blah. But it's just like being like who they are. It's kind of like, it's understandable that, you know, like the media has just, you know, put them through the ringer. And it's understandable if you want to tell your own story.
Especially from their perspective, because every time that they tried to speak to the media, it ended up being twisted and turned or something, you know. So they're like, it's natural that they want to come out and say, look, this is our side. This is how we view everything and our perception and how we lived through it, you know. Absolutely.
It was okay.
How do you think they came to the realization that they could trust the Netflix version of it? I mean, they must have had people.
It probably would have been a very detailed legal contract.
Yeah. That and also, you know, like with her sort of like obviously like background as an actress, you know, like her connections and stuff like that, and you know, like powerful people, you know, that she would know back in Hollywood.
Tyler Perry's probably,
you know, that she might be able to find someone that she could trust to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think her background in Hollywood definitely probably helped them.
Yeah. It was interesting. Okay. Like it there definitely would have been in the contract that they had final say over what the content was or something.
Absolutely.
Okay. I couldn't see them doing it without that. But just the fact that it wasn't British tabloids gave it probably a bit more, you know, like fairness to it. I don't know. In their eyes anyway.
I mean, I had no idea. Well, I mean, I had an idea. I did you see the similarity? Maybe you've discussed this already because I'm a little bit late, but the similarities between Princess Diana's journey versus their journey and everything, you know, it was kind of like there were so many parallels with that. It was interesting to see.
Yeah, because it was actually very, very interesting because, you know, like at the point of where everyone's like, oh my God, Meghan, she's gonna, you know, revolutionize the royal family, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's just like, oh yeah, and the new people's princess. And it's just like, well, you know, her and Harry, they're not taking over the crown. It should be, you know, like William and Kate. And it was kind of like, oh no, she's too popular. We need to bring them down. Like Princess Diana, all of the focus was on Diana and not on Charles. So it's kind of like, oh, well, let's just bring Diana down. I felt like that was really, they were trying to draw those connections.
Yeah. And like Princess Diana was dealing with this in the times that were different too. So I find that she didn't, like she had a lot less opportunity to have people, you know, like she was up against a lot more than what Harry and Meghan are now, because now in these times we have more proactive, you know, like
the difference though is social media.
Yeah,
that's the difference though. The harassment for social media. That like that's probably, you know, would be a lot more intense than, you know, like what happened with Diana, because they didn't have that social media. So
and that's right, and they relied mainly on tabloid information and magazines and basically news and whatever we were fed back then. It was just like that's all we had at the time, right? And so it was hard to tell what's true, what's not. And basically,
in episode 4, they get into the social media. Okay, but I'll have to say, as soon as I saw Boozy, which is the bot sentinel.
Oh, I haven't gotten to that. Oh no, I forgot about that.
I just fast forward until I didn't see his face anymore.
I totally forgot.
Because I can't trust a word that guy says.
That guy has been attached to a lot of even like there was Michael Jackson. It seems like he misled people into, if we're talking about the same man, right? Because like I don't remember names very well. I just finished watching, so he's the company. He's the gentleman that
he's the bot sentinel guy,
the Twitter guy. Okay, the Twitter expert.
The Twitter bot sentinel dude that was hired by Amber's people.
Amber Heard's people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he the one that interviewed Michael Jackson too, and then ended up being like he misled them into thinking that it was going to be a positive interview, and then it turned out to be like a.
No.
It's not the same person we're talking about.
No.
I'm not good with names.
Okay. I just like, for anyone in the chat or anyone who watches this later, just go onto Twitter and look up at @cboozy, BOUZY, and you'll see that you are blocked by him. Okay. Then just go and look again, but without logging in, and you'll see that his feed is all like hate. Okay.
Okay.
He is like, he's always on like his like stick is that he's like against online hate and online trolls, but that's himself.
Okay, this isn't the same gentleman I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the interviewer that was, when I saw him, I kind of went like, ooh, what is his name? He interviewed several celebrities over the years.
That's okay. Asha's here too now, I think. But she,
Hello.
yep. Hi. Did you get your
Hello.
power back? Welcome. Did you get your power back?
Yes.
I actually had some difficulty clicking into the link too, because I started my computer and then for some reason the sound wasn't working, so it took me an extra 10 minutes to get here. It's like all the forces were against.
Yeah, I was sick this morning as well.
Oh no!
At like 4 o'clock, but I was fine by like 4:30. So yeah,
We're here. We made it.
We're all here now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and Nate the lawyer is suing Boozy. Okay. Yeah, I've been following that one. Boozy box.
Also, Cake or Death also said that like after Diana passed, the rules changed and it had gone too far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think that made them realize what impact
It didn't.
they had,
It didn't make
right?
them stop though.
No.
Yeah.
But
I think that
public was
like the
then,
rules had kind of changed a little bit towards like William and Harry, where it's just like just let them go to school.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
really,
The
who
public
have they
kind of had
had?
something to do with that, because the pressure from the public then made the media look a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
But between like when Diana died and say when William and Catherine announced their engagement, who was there for them to hound?
Wait, I didn't
wasn't
understand. I don't know
Okay,
if it's language,
between,
but I
like,
didn't understand.
97 when Diana died,
Mhm.
and what, 2010-ish when William and Kate got married,
Right?
okay, or got together at least. Okay, there was no one that they could really go and take photos of. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's always the women. It's never the men. Okay, very rarely the men, unless it's Harry drinking and wearing Nazi costumes. But okay, but other than like that, okay, like back in the 80s, it was Diana and Fergie. But then since Fergie left, okay, which by the way, she hasn't actually left, okay, since they got divorced, but she still lives with him, okay, and has never moved out, by the way.
Really?
Okay, really, Fergie still lives there. Okay,
Oh,
initially
I
they
did
said it
not
was
know
so they
that.
could co-parent the girls.
They both married.
Both the girls are now married, okay, and living elsewhere, and she still lives there. So now they're co-parenting the corgis.
Oh.
But they would
Those are the
live in a
dogs.
very, very big house. They with probably two separate wings, so they could
Well, apparently,
probably
that's what they
like
say.
not see each other.
That's what they say, that they've got different wings. Okay, but come on, it's still a little.
No, you know what? Like it's just
will
like, you know
hurt,
what?
totally.
I still get to live here.
Correct.
I don't have to see him. Whatever.
Yeah, but like, yeah, it's interesting. Okay, but
I love that
Fergie
Melanie
was
Fergie
at
used
that
to be
first
fun.
meeting. Fergie was at that meeting where Meghan met the Queen.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, Fergie and Eugenie were there, and Jack. I don't know if that's the guy she married, or if it was just her boyfriend at the time. Okay, but yeah. So apparently, Fergie and the Queen really got along well. Okay.
do you know
What have I
that?
got next?
How do we know that? Like, is that?
That was I read it after like the Queen died. I was reading a lot of royal stuff, and it was like how well they got along.
How?
So
You know-
Andrew and Fergie have the dogs now.
I
Okay.
wonder why our stream of the funeral ended up not being let on YouTube. We have more information about that? Because we've tried several times to put it back up, and it keeps getting blocked.
It's the BBC. They're claiming all footage from the funeral.
Oh no! Because
Yeah.
at first it was just Paddington that took us down.
Yeah.
And then, like, I was thinking, well, we just removed that little part. It's no big deal, right? Because it's like
Yeah.
6-hour stream for
It-
2
it's-
minutes.
Anything like pretty much any visual from the funeral, they're striking.
But they allowed everyone to watch it. I mean, we're not the only ones that streamed it
know.
that day.
I know.
There's like big names that streamed it that day.
Yeah,
I find
every
that
news channel in the
huge.
world used BBC's footage. I think they want people to go to their website to watch the replay. Yeah.
So they allowed
Like
it to be
Law and
streamed,
Crime.
then after tap us on the fingers.
Fergie used to be fun back when she got her toes socked.
What?
Okay. Don't you remember that? It was like the
No.
front page, like it was like the cover of like all the like the tabloid magazines of Fergie on like a beach in Spain getting her toes nibbled by like her boyfriend while she was still married to Prince Andrew or something. Okay. And that's when they got divorced. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder who leaked that.
It was the paparazzi. They took photos.
Yeah.
Okay.
How?
Like,
If you're
like
having
in
an
York.
intimate moment with your person, like,
Yeah.
what? Keep the words.
Well, they were on a beach, and the paparazzi would have been on a boat. Like,
the curtains drawn, like closed. I mean, drawn.
okay. Is anyone on the panel
No.
a member of the Church of England? I am not.
My mum is. Nope.
So no.
My mum's Church
Sorry.
of England,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
No, but I thought it was really interesting that Meghan and Harry ended up liking Vancouver. That's a beautiful place. And they were even bothered over there. You know, like you see these guys in the boats. You know, and the guys. It just made me remember Princess Diana's the whole thing. You know, I think she ended up having to make a deal with the paparazzi in order to have some kind of
The
control.
deals never
over
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never work.
Okay, here it is. Okay. Ooh, that was so funny. This is Fergie. Oh, it was poolside in the sunshine. And the
was it?
paparazzi were up a tree. Okay.
Oh my
Sorry, my memory's a
God.
little off.
They were in a
One
treehouse.
particular.
They forgot to
Okay.
close the blinds in the treehouse.
Oh, but the paparazzi, they're still crazy.
Yeah, it's.
Well,
It
they're
takes
like-
it takes a special type of person to be paparazzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like how it ended up being turned around, because when Meghan was saying, oh, we're probably not there yet, but when she was,
That's okay.
she said she didn't have the makeup and stuff, and the guy asked her, how are you doing? And she answered,
Yeah.
and he went to use that against her, but it ended up just generating compassion from the world, you know?
Yeah.
I liked that.
But I bet you,
little
like,
twist on it.
the royal family probably didn't like that.
No.
They're like, well, you're the people that put these people there.
Well,
No, 'cause
I'm
it's
assuming-
just weird though, because like even though like Meghan was already, well, she was kind of in the spotlight because like she was a television actress, so she was known.
Yeah.
So like
Already
it probably
loved.
wouldn't have been weird for some sort of like paparazzi to take photos of her, and like for Hollywood people, it's not uncommon for them, if paparazzi says something to you, like, oh yeah. If you're not offended by paparazzi and they're not like hounding you. So like in that first instance of where, like she said that she went and got flowers and there was paparazzi, like, 6 or 7 paparazzi, and she's like, oh yeah, whatever. And she responded to him. And then like, Harry's just like, you don't talk to them. It's like, you don't talk to them. But it's just like, just the difference between, like the Hollywood type of paparazzi to like the royal paparazzi. It's
Yeah,
just like,
that's what I was gonna say. Two different beasts, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless I don't know, like the paparazzi that like back when Britney was like shaving her head and stuff,
oh,
like they're all
yeah,
crazy.
that's what
And-
I mean. Like if you're on friendly terms with paparazzi, like they're not harassing you; they just want your
Yeah.
photo. Whereas opposed to when you're having a mental breakdown, and then there's like 20 photographers in your face every day.
Because they look for
Yeah.
drama, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it was shown in that moment too when Princess Diana walked up to the photographer after being hounded all day with her children. She was just trying to have a vacation day on the ski hill with her children, and she finally had enough, and you could see it in her eyes. And she walked up to the guy and she's like, "Can you please, just give us our
Bet you he stayed.
privacy?"
Oh, yeah, he probably
but
stayed.
it was in his response that was very telling to me.
Because he's just like, oh yeah.
Just let
no,
just let
that's
me
fine. He
have a
goes, they're
photo."
like, just give us this, just get us this,
Yeah.
and she's just like, no.
He's still trying to negotiate with her, saying, "Just give
Yeah.
us what we want, and we'll leave you alone after." That's like
Yeah.
it's like complete
It's extortion.
disrespect.
It's like it literally feels like dance monkey dance. It's just
Yeah,
like, you know what? You're royalty, like that's it. You just have to do what we say. So you're not a person anymore. You're just a monkey on a string.
We want our money
back to
first,
this
and
one.
then
We
I'll
pay
leave
you
you
first.
alone, type of thing. Yeah, yeah. It's like they went up to like 10,000. Was it? Did I hear that right when they said $10,000? Like
Yeah,
Oh, some would go
photograph?
more than that.
$10,000. Yeah.
I reckon some would go more than that. Okay. That's why they do it.
Yeah, it sparks up the greed.
Like for $10,000, I can loosen a few morals. Not
Well,
all of them,
what?
but a few.
Depends. I mean, it's like selling your morals for.
I don't know. I was watching a
I don't
video
know if I'd be
the
able
other
to
day.
sleep at night. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. if I did
Yeah,
that.
there's a YouTuber. What's his name? I'm forgetting his name. He's an Australian comedian, Isaac Butterfield. Okay, and he did a video the other day about how he was sponsored by that those heritage titles or whatever. One of those where you buy like a foot in Scotland and
Yeah.
you become a lord. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a gag gift. Everyone knows it's a gag gift. And if you didn't know it was a gag gift, then you're stupid. Okay. And if someone tells, okay, they paid me $100,000 to tell you that this is a gift that you should buy someone. So I told you this is a gift you should buy someone, and I got $100,000. Wouldn't you? And I'm like, yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess you never really know unless you're in the situation, but it's like you said, there are certain lines that it's like, okay, maybe I can bend a little bit, but not the way they did. The way they did it was awful.
Would any of you have married Prince Harry if you asked?
You know what? Before seeing this documentary, I probably would have said, nah, but, having more details and stuff and knowing how he really is as a core person and traveling to, how he just remained himself and grounded and traveled to Africa and just staying there and he was basically brought up and with people over there, right? Because he was there for so many years, influential ages. So after seeing all of that, I'm like, yeah, I could see how she could fall in love with him for sure. Probably.
For me, it'd be
I
a
don't
nope. Nope.
No.
And no.
I probably
You know why?
take the same opinion as Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a no, but I'm not a definite yes either. I would actually have to meet the guy. Okay. Okay.
Well,
But
depends.
yes,
Still
if you're in
totally
love,
different.
yes, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you're in love, you're already in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your heart ends up taking over your choices and stuff anyway.
What if you could make a demand to run away and hide in Canada? In Canada. Well,
Well,
Robin, you're already there.
Considering
Ash,
I'm
you're already
already
there.
here,
Yeah.
I'd be like, bring me to Vancouver? Sure, I wouldn't mind. They have a nice little spot over there.
But Vancouver, it rains a lot. Like, it's
Yeah, it
very
does.
close
I
to
heard
it.
that, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Megan then talks about her dad. Okay. Now I'm calling her Megan. Sorry, Megan. Okay. Megan talks about her dad and how he was staging the pictures and stuff like that. Okay. And how she called him. Both of them called him like at the same time, and he was being cagey, so she didn't believe him. Okay. And then he just wouldn't answer her calls, but he would speak to TMZ. And then she found out he wasn't coming to the wedding via like TMZ or something, and he wasn't answering. Okay, and then when she finally did get a text from him, she doesn't think it was actually from him.
Yeah.
That someone had just written a text on his phone. Okay, because he called her Megan, and it was always Meg, and there was no emojis, and he always used emojis and stuff like that. Okay, and then she lost her father due to this relationship. Okay, that was like, I was like, well, that's a little sad. Okay,
It's very sad. Yeah, very.
But it's
very
like-
sad.
I just think they need to sit down and talk.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, why didn't like they just go there physically and talk instead of, oh, I'm gonna try to text you, and if you don't answer your text, well, then the relationship's done.
Well, maybe they couldn't.
I mean, you're
yeah.
talking about
Look how they
people who were
intercepted.
able to hide their relationship in the beginning. They couldn't figure out a way to get her there to talk to
I
her
guess
father.
it's trust
That's
if he
just me.
would actually.
Depends
not
on who's
linked
in his
that
ear
she's
too.
there.
You know, like
Yeah.
who's in who's, because
Yeah.
being
Something
having
fishy
that
there.
kind of distance and not knowing. I mean, even her letter was like intercepted somehow, and he didn't.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like he might have had some kind of misconception, but still, as a parent, I'm like, I don't know if my daughter reached out to me and something was going on. I certainly would never
Yeah.
myself. I would never deny a chance to talk to my own child for sure. But I
But then-
understand that part. Just to get the
Mm.
truth. 'Cause-
Yeah.
Someone else said in one of the other episodes, I think it was earlier than this, I think it might have been Ashley, or it might have been one of Megan's other friends, that how it was getting harder and harder to actually talk to her. That they thought that someone was running interference to stop her talking to her friends and stuff like that in the palace. Like they would call and they'd be like, "Oh, she's not available. We'll leave her a message," and stuff like that.
It feels like even with the Queen, like when Harry wanted to talk to her, or he had a certain message from her directly, and then someone else came in and said, "No, she's busy," kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's outside forces probably intruding on the relationship between Meghan and her dad. I'm just thinking that.
I'm not sure if I saw this in the documentary or if I saw it in an article about the documentary. Sorry. So,
And now we're questioning all the articles we read because we don't even know if that's true.
but I saw something about it. It's a bit like a family business and a family, but the business is actually controlling how the family interacts, kind of thing. Like like if you have a family business and there's a bit of fight over how to do something, it's actually affecting everything in the entire family. It's a bit like that.
Comes down to trust, like who even if it's in part of the business, you still have to trust the employees that are working for you to be there for your best interests, right?
But it's like
That
the
comes
different
down to
departments of this business, which is like the monarchy, the royal family, are set up to compete against each other.
Hello, the White Rabbit.
Hey, Rabbit.
Hey.
Happy lunchtime.
That's so cool that you stopped in. Even you're having
Yeah.
lunch.
But it's it's kind of like it's like one business, but they're competing against each other to make sure that they're not the bad news story of the day, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what was sad about it too. It's like
So that was like the thing about the press that kind of like the last 3 episodes really got into, which was that like if there was like a bad story about someone in the royal family, their communications department would just leak a story about someone else in the royal family
redirect. Yeah.
to get them off the front page and get someone else on. Okay, and it just became all of them pretty much, it sounds like, just going, "Oh, we don't want a bad story about Prince Andrew. Hey, did you know Meghan's brother did this?" Yeah. Okay. But that's what it seemed like. Okay. And my mind immediately went Prince Andrew. prince. They didn't know.
Because he's the only one that like causes major scandal.
No, but think of the timing. Okay,
Yeah.
2018, 2019, 2020. This is like start of Me Too, like the
Yeah.
Me Too type thing. Okay, this is a Jeffrey Epstein's trial. None of that made it into the It did make like into the press, but not much. Okay, it was So come on, it was definitely. But then, like, I need to do some research. Is there like hidden little stories about other people?
It probably is. I mean,
Maybe.
what it did too is that it opened my eyes to, again, Princess Diana's situation, because she was saying this from the beginning. She's like, people are offering it up. It's she was trying to kind of hint at certain persons and that she thought were doing it, but she couldn't give all of the information. So it kind of made you go, ooh, all right. You know, if they have to kind of redirect, then
Part of me wishes they just weren't so like that they would just name people. Like they'd be opening themselves up to a huge defamation trial. I get that. Okay, and I get why they didn't do it. But wouldn't it be good if they just said, and William's press secretary did this, and Andrew's press secretary did this, and Charles's press secretary did this.
Well, they probably have contracts to protect them, like you said earlier, right?
Not for that, I don't think. Because that was just something that they were born into. It's not like you sign a contract. As long as you don't actually name the secretary, you just name like the job. But yeah, that was like The Apprentice Royal Edition. How much is it? Is just a matter of the class structure. I don't know. Okay.
Good question.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm sure it would have played a part, but she just didn't have the same training.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, and even just being American. Okay, you wouldn't be as familiar with. Like, like in Australia and Canada, like, so the Queen and now the King is our head of state too. Okay, but like, that people bow, men bow, and women curtsy. You know that. It's just like And when she was told, "Do you know how to curtsy?" she laughed, thinking it was a joke. Okay,
not
I think that might be just like the American bit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But also, she didn't grow up in like a wealthy environment or anything like that.
Yeah.
So like, because when you look at like when you compare it to like William and Kate was brought up in like she wasn't like wealthy, but she was very well off.
Yeah.
So, and also just being British as well. So, and then going to sort of like better schools and things like that. That kind of like elevates your upbringing kind of thing.
Yeah. I found it funny though that Meghan was like, when they asked her how she learned how to do all this, and she's like, Google.
I love it.
And then they go to watching YouTube videos of like etiquette and stuff like that.
For the generation.
Well, yeah, because higher society, they still do that kind of thing,
Yeah. Didn't it used to be like a thing that you did after like school? Like from like you'd women would finish school at like year 10, and then do like 2 years of like finishing school where they learnt like etiquette.
I have no idea.
I don't know if that's true or not, or if I just saw it in a movie once. But I definitely, heard it somewhere. Okay. Yeah. So then we get to the next episode, which was the wedding, and they were really positive about Charles in that. Okay. How he got them like the gospel choir, and how he walked Meghan down the aisle and stuff like that. Okay. Like, up until that point, they hadn't really said much about him. Okay, and I'm like, oh well, that means it wasn't him. I'm like crossing royals off my list, in my brain. They're like, who the bad royal is, and
Yeah.
I'm like, well, they'd already said like it's obviously not the Queen, okay, because of how much like they both seem to like really like her, okay. Although she is an actress, who knows? But then they're like saying nice things about Eugenie shows up. She actually goes and visits them. So I'm like, well, they wouldn't still be friends if it was her. Okay. And then they're like talking so positive about Charles. I'm like, well, that crosses him off. I'm like, who's left? Yeah. I've got a couple people left on the list. Okay. I'll tell you who's left on the list. You got Camilla. You got Andrew, but I don't think was he still a senior royal at the time of the Oprah interview?
I'm not
I think
sure.
he was. Okay, because he was stripped of his title by the Queen that year.
Ooh.
But I don't know. Okay. Then you've got Edward. Okay. And then you've got Camilla. Edward. Okay. Then I'm taking Charles off the list, and then you got William and Kate. They're the only people left. Has to be one of them. That made the comments about Archie's skin color before he was born and stuff like that in the Oprah interview. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's so bad.
Yeah. Okay. What else was it? Okay. Then they had they talked about their wedding, the wedding song. Okay. I like that song. Okay. Still mad that Ashley wasn't invited. Okay. And then what was the next bit? Yeah.
I like their first dance song.
Yeah,
was cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Then I started fast forwarding because then we got into the Twitter. Chris Boozy came on, so that's when I hit fast forward for 15 minutes. Okay. No, literally, as soon as his face came on, I was like, nope.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
fair enough.
That just shows probably how a lot of other people felt to watching it.
I don't think he's really that known. Okay, people who don't watch Nate the Lawyer's channel probably don't know who he
Yeah,
is.
I think just because of being on YouTube, everyone is a lot more aware. Like anyone that sort of followed Johnny Depp trial on YouTube, follows, the lawyers and things like that, then who Boozy is. Otherwise, just normal people watching the news and stuff like that, I'd be like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think most people, I reckon if you polled 99% of people wouldn't know who he is. Okay.
No.
But yeah, I just can't trust what he says. Okay, I reckon he's made it all up. Okay. Okay. And
And he does interviews from his kitchen.
Yeah. I can guarantee there are hateful trolls on Twitter that are targeting Meghan and Harry. I absolutely believe that. But would I ever trust his data? Never.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay. What was next? Okay, so it was more about and this is where I started to think that it was becoming a bit preachy. Okay, and a bit telling us what to think, not letting us think for ourselves. Okay, I thought that it was especially and maybe this is just the whiteness in me, okay, but the stuff about colonialism and history and racism and stuff like that, I was like, you don't need to give us a history lesson, because it was literally a history lesson, okay. Yeah. I'm very preachy about it. Okay, I was like, just show us the racist tweets, okay, and say these really affected me or whatever, okay, and let us read them and go, oh, that's racist. Okay, you don't have to tell us, hey, that's racist.
But it's probably also a thing of this is like a Netflix series, so it's probably targeted to an audience that isn't aware of a lot of the colonialism stuff. Know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like
Yeah.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
Like because like Americans learn about their history, and obviously like anyone that's in a Commonwealth country, like we know that history. So like if it's a Netflix series, it's going to be on in America, they wouldn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So that's the point of view that I can see them
feel-
including all of that
I was
information
just getting
from.
so bored with it though. That I was so fast forwarding. I was like, okay, so I pretty much from like that point onwards, I would fast forward unless Harry or Meghan were on the screen, or like friend, okay, or something like that. If it was like expert of something, I was like, nah, not watching that bit anymore. Okay, it was just, yeah, and I was tired. Okay, what else is it? Okay, sorry, I've lost my notes because I stopped making them after episode 3. I was like, no. I was like, no. Okay, then it was more into deciding to leave and them explaining how they decided to leave and how.
Oh, I haven't gotten into that part yet.
Like originally, the plan was, and they had approval from the Queen and from Prince Charles to move to South Africa. Okay, and work as royals throughout Africa, but be based in South Africa. Okay, and it was all approved, but then as soon as the media got hold of it, it was leaked to the press. Okay, then it was like the higher up said, no, not doing that anymore. Because once it becomes a matter of public debate, it's over pretty much.
Wasn't it New Zealand the first?
That was another option they floated, was New Zealand.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Canada. Okay, and then with the Canada thing, Harry calls Charles and says, "Oh, we want to do that South Africa thing, but now in Canada, because we obviously have to change the plan." And he's like, "Put it in writing." And Harry's like, "But last time I put it in writing and it got leaked."
Yeah.
And Charles is like, "Put it in writing." So he puts it in writing, and 5 days later, it gets leaked again. Okay.
He said I couldn't do anything unless you put it in writing.
Yeah. And I think he said that the only people it was sent to was like Charles. So Charles's office is obviously involved somehow.
Yeah.
In like leaking these stories.
Yeah. But obviously, if something is getting leaked and you're sending it to one person, and if there's like other people that have access to, the emails and all that kind of stuff, it's like, well, obviously you've got a mole.
Okay. Well, it's either someone in that office or someone in that, or that office has sent it to someone. Like maybe they sent it to a different office and that has then been leaked. Okay. But yeah. Okay. I think they said in like the very first episode, or maybe I was watching something else. It's like, it's not about who you trust. It's about the people you trust who they trust. And that's how stories get leaked. Okay. Like, you could trust someone to the end of the earth and be 100% right. And then they trust their mother or something, and then their mother goes and tells the world. Kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. Squawbug wouldn't even send Harry and Meghan as the first royals on Moon or Mars. But you know what? The Africa idea wasn't a bad idea. Okay. I reckon that could have worked. Okay. Does anyone else think it could have worked? Okay. Like,
Possibly.
like they were spending a lot of time in Africa already anyway. Okay. Like, he spent months every year there. Okay. Would it really be... See, I wouldn't have even gotten permission. I would have said, I'm doing a tour of Africa every year for 10 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I suppose when you've got to follow protocols, like obviously you need permission as a active working royal. Like you probably, all of your days are all planned out. All of your, things that, like events that you've got to attend. So everything is all already booked for you.
Yeah, I guess. But I was like, oh, that could have worked. Okay. Conspiracy time. Based on that, it backs up the conspiracy side, but thinking about it, leaking is the best way to test the public appetite to fund the public venture, as the taxpayers would have to fund it. Yeah. But it also goes back to how much control the tabloids have. Like, I was saying this earlier, and I don't know who was here and who wasn't. I've lost track. That the tabloids, okay, even though not everyone reads the newspaper, like readership of newspapers is all-time low, they still control the stories of everything though. Okay, so the TV and the radio will get the stories they talk about from the tabloids. Okay, and that's what happens here. Okay, whatever's in the newspaper, that's what's being talked about on radio all day and on TV all day. Okay, so they set the tone and they can change public opinion. People will read something and go, oh, well, that has to be true. Okay.
Yeah.
And not even see the bias in what they're reading. Okay. It's, yeah. Interesting. I had another video. I played one earlier. And it's about, it's the AP, okay, which is the Associated Press. Okay, and they're talking about, where did I put it? Sorry. How the media, how the public feel about Harry and Meghan now. Where did I put it? Sorry, I thought I saved it on my desktop, but it's not here.
I'm trying to
Here it is.
read chat. I'm distracted.
Well, I'm interested more from Harry's perspective. Everyone knows, everyone's got a side as far as Meg's concerned. You're either for her or against her, vehemently, one way or the other. I'm for her. But I'm more keen to establish Harry's perspective on the day since he's been married. Because when he got married, that particular day was one of the best days the UK's had for many a year. It was a superbly sunny day, and from start to finish, it was awesome and a great advert for the UK. There's always an element of doubt when somebody raises issues. You can't turn a blind eye to it. And if she felt that she couldn't work with the institution, in quotes, because she felt there was an element of that, then I understand why they decided to leave the UK.
Okay. So there's 3 interviews in total, okay, like 2 other people. Okay, the second one sounds pretty much exactly the same. Okay, and then the third one was like, very pro Meghan. Okay, and I'm like, they interviewed 3 people, and they say this is what the public thinks. Okay, and I bet you they said there's a poll, and 66% of people think this, and 33% of people think that. Because that's what it is when it's only 3 people. Yeah, it was very interesting. Okay, so I can pull up chat. Okay.
There we go. I don't know. There's some kind of glitch, I think.
Okay. Maybe because I'm hosting it, kind of thing. I don't know. Okay, Harry and Meghan being able to do something extremely awesome in Africa, then maybe the media wouldn't have categorized them as sending to Africa as punishment. Thing is it really a punishment if it's your own idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
What? I didn't get that.
Okay, so is it really a punishment if it's your idea? Like it was their idea to go to Africa.
Right.
Okay, I don't see how that's a punishment.
No.
Okay. What else have we got here? Okay. I think the point, Melanie, is that the paparazzi that are connected to the tabloids in the UK are very different to the paparazzi that give pictures to like TMZ and the US press. Okay. At least it seems that way. Like I think just from what I've seen on like social media and on like TMZ and stuff like that, in like the US, like they'll camp out at the airport or they'll camp out in front of a house or something. But they don't really chase the person. Like they'll just get their photos and then the person will leave and they'll just wait for the next person or wait until they come back. Whereas the tabloid paparazzi for like the UK, they will literally follow the person.
Fly and
Yeah, it's
they'll-
quite
they'll be
scary.
They'll be in the boats. They'll be in
Yeah.
the helicopters. They'll be in the woods. They've climbed trees. They've climbed walls. They,
Put
like
cameras on
camp out
neighbors'
and have those
houses.
long legs.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's kind of creepy.
In Hollywood too, though, like it depends on the new information that they get. I remember, like, well, I think that was leaked anyways. But with the Amber Heard thing, they ended up at the courthouse where they're not usually there or something, and then they found her coming out, but they ended up knowing that she was going to be there, kind of thing, right?
But like,
Those are the rules.
I'm trying to think. There are instances where like the Hollywood paparazzi have done stupid stuff like that as well. Like whose house was it? Like it was like Madonna's house. They paid like the neighbors to put cameras
Yeah,
into like her yard or something.
Oh wow.
they did that with
Okay.
Meghan and Harry too, didn't they? With
Yeah.
Meghan's hometown, where they were going to the neighbors, knocking on all the doors when it first started.
Oh, when she was still in Canada filming Suits.
Yeah,
yeah.
and the
she was
police
getting
wouldn't do anything.
messages
Yeah,
from her friends saying, or the neighbors saying that they were offered money to set up cameras and stuff to capture live streaming cameras, though. not
God,
just-
that's
yeah.
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
creepy. Okay,
That creeped me out when I saw that.
Yeah.
surely that kind of stuff should be illegal.
And then you wonder how much they were paid, and if they did it, and if they did, how much
Yeah.
were they paid? You know, because then it's
Yeah, but
like,
like,
what was your price? You know.
I don't even know if that's legal. Like, if
Bunch
you're
of
allowed to.
neighbors.
I don't know if you're allowed to do
I
that
don't
here.
think that they care if it's legal or not. They just
No,
want to
that's
make
it.
money.
No, but at least then you can take it down.
Well, if you
Mm.
go, well, then becomes a battle of who's going to pay more to do what, and then it's like it goes into a whole new category of,
Yeah.
ugh, you know, like then they got to
Mm.
anyway.
But I was thinking when I saw the picture of like the camera pointing into her yard, I was like, what I would do is get like a big beach umbrella and just open it right in front of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye, White Rabbit.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, they get a lot of money. Like, think about it. Like, £10,000. I think they're saying for like a picture.
It's a lot of like you can kind of see why they go so insane because of the amount of money
Yeah.
that they can make off of it.
Well, sell like 10 pictures and you got a pretty decent annual income, especially for like the UK. Like, I think like £50,000 would be like average in the UK, maybe
Mm.
like middle class. Okay. If you're getting £10,000 a picture,
Yeah.
do that a few times. That's all you have to do. Maybe work 1 month every year.
Wow.
Especially the
Kind of
the
makes
neigh-
me think, ooh. You need your
especially
life.
back to the neighbor thing, you know, with you know, probably the neighbors would have their families and stuff were probably tempted because of the, you know,
The money.
daily struggles and
You
whatever.
could pay off
helping
your mortgage.
family. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, like, newspaper comes to me and says, hey, can you put this camera on your balcony right there for only a month? Okay, here's $500,000. I'd be like, okay.
You'd be tempted.
There's only
Yeah.
so much you can actually know. You can see a lot from my balcony.
Don't say that.
It depends on if the neighbors leave their blinds open or not. Okay. And the angle. Okay. If it was just looking straight, like straight out, there wouldn't be enough to see.
Now you're gonna
Okay,
have
like,
to. You're gonna have to edit this stream after you become rich and famous, Crystal.
if you're pointing it down, you can see straight into people's bedrooms. Okay.
Yikes.
Yeah. But
It
I'm
does
telling them
make
they don't need cameras. They just have to put a microphone out the front. And I think those neighbours moved now, but some neighbours were very loud for a while there during COVID. Yeah.
Be nice to your neighbors, people.
Yeah.
You never know.
Oh, but I was like, some days I felt like just get up and go yelling out into like off the balcony, close your window or something like that, or close your door, because I don't know which unit they were in, okay, because I'm in an apartment block, okay. I don't know which apartment they were in. But the noise echoes off the buildings, so it could be any one of them. But they had to have had their window or a door open for the noise to get out, because it's extremely quiet here. If everyone has their doors like closed, people could be having a party inside their unit, their apartment, and you cannot hear it unless they open a door. Yeah, it's an old factory, so the walls are really, really thick. Like, I don't know if you can see that there, the black there, that wood. Okay, that's like how wide the walls are.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then, it's very quiet. Yeah.
Squad Bob, what do you mean a Melissa Jane creature?
What's he saying now? He always says those funny things. Harry and Meghan can discover and save an extinct Yeah, what does that mean?
Am I extinct? Oh, you're funny.
He's always funny.
Oh, don't say that. That's creepy. I can still spy on you through your computer.
Ooh. You do like me, put a Band-Aid over it. Band-Aid over the
Well, you know what? We can spy on each other. We can spy on right now. Okay.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. We haven't got. I think we wanted to finish by the end of the hour.
I was not going to sleep
I can't hear
tonight.
you. There you are. I can hear you. Okay. What were your favourite bits of what you've seen? Or funniest bit, or saddest bit, or most memorable bit?
I think I enjoyed the bit, like at the beginning of where it was just kind of like, them getting to know each other and just seeing like all of their kind of like personal like pictures of them starting to go out. It's kind of like, oh, that's like really, really cute, and you can see, like, you can actually really, like, because people say going, oh, you can see how much they love each other, and it's just like, from what they actually showed, it's just like it does actually come across.
Yeah.
Like it kind of it didn't feel fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote a couple things down, and now I'm realizing I left it over there because I have short-term memory. But I don't know. There were several bits that I liked. I liked the bit where they realized that Valentine's Day 1984 was the same date that the announcement, was made as his mum,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for those who haven't watched it, what happened was in the 14th of February 1984, Princess Di announced her pregnancy with Prince Harry, and on February 14th, 2021, Prince Harry and Meghan announced that they were pregnant with Lily. Okay,
Yeah.
but they didn't know that it was the same day.
Yeah.
Okay, after they'd made the announcement, they got a couple of messages showing them the newspaper article from when Harry's was announced, and it was like, oh my god, it's the same day. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really sweet. I really liked
Yeah.
that because it was unexpected. Just an unexpected little tidbit of information that people were, it was just like
Yeah.
coincidence or whatever. But I also liked when they showed the wedding. And before they even said it, the way he was looking at her, you know, when she was coming down the aisle, when she was there, you know, you see little bits of him just deeply looking at her, and I found that sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of sentimental when it comes to stuff like that. So, and then they ended up mentioning it in the documentary. So, I was like, yeah.
Yeah. I did put together some pictures.
And
Okay. And I'll present them.
and
Yeah.
how sweet, you know, that Meghan had noticed also that when the Queen got into the car with her after they spent that day together, and she just quiet gesture because they don't show emotions, and she said she was a hugger and everything, so she realized quickly that she had to hold back the physical like affection type thing in public, and then so there's this poise and status that they usually maintain, and when they got into the car, how Queen Elizabeth had put a blanket over her knees to keep her cozy and warm in the car, and I thought that was really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's like, there's the grandma, you know, grandma gesture.
Yeah.
You know, all those little subtleties, I think, is what I ended up picking up on in the documentary. It's kind of like,
Yeah. I just got a really like strong feeling that they liked each other.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Okay. Not just Harry and Meghan, but like Meghan and the Queen as well.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also found it funny when she was talking about the first Christmas that she had at Sandringham, and she was sitting next to Prince Philip, and she was talking to him all night and telling him all these stories, and he was like laughing along and all that. And then she finds out at like the end of the dinner that he's deaf in that ear and hadn't heard a word. Okay. But then she goes, I still think it went well anyway. Yeah. I thought that was funny. Okay.
That's cute. Yeah.
Oh, they do look good together. Okay.
Yeah, they do. They look like they were soulmates or something. Like they met in this, you know,
You gotta
against
watch
all
them.
odds type couple where they ended up falling in love and having to deal with circumstances surrounding
The princess
whole
and the
thing.
actress. The prince and the actress. Okay. You've got to watch at least like the last 5 minutes of the last episode. Okay. And she reads her speech from their wedding. She gave a speech, and she reads it, and it's kind of cool.
I could pull that up. Maybe we could read it out. I'll see if I can find it. It must. I mean, it's public, right? So.
It is now. I don't know if anyone's written it down anyway. Unless we just go through subtitles, reading the subtitles. And everyone's getting strikes for putting any footage from the special
Netflix.
on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Netflix.
That little bit that we showed with I don't know what company that was. I was trying to recognize it wasn't from the BBC that you played earlier. I'm wondering if that's going to give us that.
Okay. Ash, did you watch any? Or
I watched the first 3 episodes.
so you got to until it got boring.
Yeah. Well, I fell asleep after the 3rd episode, and then when I woke up, I was like, "Oh no, no power."
I know. But you've got it back now?
Yes.
Okay.
They're like, "Oh, it's gonna come back at 1:30, 2:30, well, 2:45."
Yeah,
They
because for
come
us
back.
here, the last 3 episodes were only aired here like 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of rushed to.
They came out
Well,
like
most of it.
12 hours ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How sanitized is Netflix? It's very much their version of events.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're executive producers on this, I think. I read that somewhere. Don't know if it's actually true. But like, it's very much their version. Okay. There's no counter argument. Okay. But that's where you go to. The counter argument has been everything you've read in the press for the last 5 years. Pretty much. Okay. Sorry, I'm sitting on the floor. It's so uncomfortable.
Oh, that's too
Well, I
bad.
do have a
Because your
cushion underneath.
background looks awesome. It looks
I
like cool
know.
and everything.
Yeah.
I decorated, okay, my bookcase. I didn't get a tree. So,
Oh, it's
Oh, that's nice. Yeah,
yeah.
that looks nice.
very cute.
Can't go wrong with the
It's cheaper
Christmas
than a
lights.
tree.
Full
Oh.
speech. So far, I found just an article saying that she gave a speech and what she commented on about her speech, but I'm still looking for the full speech.
Yeah, it's like the last couple of minutes of the show. Okay. And yeah, he has that look on his face the entire time as well. Like
Aw,
that.
that deep,
And
soulful love.
She had it on her phone. And he's like, "You've got it on your phone?" And she's like, "Yeah." Okay. I made another slide, and this one is just pictures with the royal family. Okay. And then in no particular, they're kind of grouped together by outfit, but I don't know if they're in the right order, if that makes any sense.
That's a really beautiful photograph, though. Really.
The family, that one?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, it looks like a
Yeah.
Christmas card photo. Right? I'm not sure
It's,
where it's from.
Maybe they could have had her mom in there, though. You know.
Yeah, well, there are in other pictures,
All right.
like that one. That's got her mum in it. I don't know who those two ladies in the back are. Oh, they're Diana's sisters.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure, anyway. I really, really think, okay, pure speculation, that they really don't get along with William and Kate at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was he saying that when he went to Sandringham, to Windsor or whatever, no, to Sandringham, to finally meet with the Queen after like they'd moved to Canada. Okay. William and Charles were there, and William was like yelling at him. Like, yeah, I was like, ooh. You're not up to it yet, okay? That's in like episode 5 or something, okay?
Yeah, you're too far ahead of me.
We're giving her spoilers.
Yeah. I really don't think they get along at all. Okay?
Yeah, no, you can kind of like sense it when like they're all
Yeah.
together.
But does that mean that everything that we saw before that, like before they got married, was just fake? Or has it fractured since then?
Good question.
Yeah,
Okay,
it could be a
like, they
bit of
don't
both.
get into that at all.
Yeah.
And welcome the expert.
Hello, expert.
Hey, expert.
Hello,
I
expert.
found the part. I think that's part of the speech. Anyways, I've got it here. You want me to
Before
read
we
it?
start on the speech, what new subscriber here? What do you
Nice. Yay.
whatever interests us?
We're just chicks chatting.
Yeah. Okay. So far, it's all about true love, apparently. That's we've all
Halloween
targeted
cooking.
questions by Squabble.
Good stream, yeah.
Okay. Did you want to read it, Robin, or
The speech, yeah, if you want.
yeah, if you wanted to?
Okay, let me get into the. I have my glasses. If you want me to, we don't have to. It's just
Oh,
I pulled it up in case you.
I just found it really sweet. It's and she also wrote like a poem when she was in like middle school or something. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
That was pretty cool. I'm like a 12-year-old or something wrote that. I probably got the age wrong, but like, because we don't have middle school. Okay, but it's I'm guessing in the middle there somewhere.
Yeah.
So that poem was like pretty cool. She wrote a poem about
It was very insightful.
being
Young
like
when she wrote that.
it was meant to be like a poem about their life, and she was like how she's got 2 houses, 2 beds,
Growing up in a
2
divorced.
yeah,
divorced
2 of
environment,
everything, yeah, that kind of stuff. Okay, it was pretty cool. Okay, some
Aw.
pictures, yeah. But like, I've been looking at the pictures, Okay, because I put this together like last night, and I'm just like trying to get like body language vibes off them. Okay, because obviously they're all very staged.
Mm.
Okay,
Well, he said that they were trained as young children, right? So it's kind of hard
Yeah.
to see. They would be very good at.
so that's why you've got to
boys
look at the
even-
women, because they were not trained from young age.
You think
but,
that's why most media look at the women too,
maybe.
like in the family? I mean, is what
It's also
what they said in the
fashion,
documentary.
But like the smile lines around the eyes and stuff, I reckon that's a nice picture.
Yeah.
You can't really see Charles' face though. But there, I don't know, like that looks like a fake smile. They just look like a like you're just holding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could have been just a split-second photo too. Like how
Could've.
you're in the middle of trying to say something, and then you get a photo
Yeah.
snapped of you, and you're like, "No, I was in a
Okay.
good mood. I don't understand."
Okay, this one we have a few photos from in like the same outfits. Okay, they look like, I don't know, someone's told a joke.
Hey, Jen.
This is Jen.
Hi Jen. Okay. That one, it kind of like her arms. Can't tell if she's got her arms behind her back, or if she's reaching out and like touching their backs.
Look, one side where she's closer to Harry, it looks like the bottom of her arm is behind her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like she's. But yeah, it's.
I don't know. They just
Wonder
like
if she would put her arm around the queen. We might.
it just seems to get from like Kate to like Harry. It seems like kind of stiff and then it seems to get a bit warmer. I don't know. Maybe it's just my interpretation. But like, see, that looks like a good moment. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You always wonder what they're whispering to each other while the photos are being taken. I always wonder that. 'Cause,
Okay, like that one. Like,
when
look
they
at
were-
the Queen's face. Come on.
yeah,
Something good was said there.
I would totally be
Okay.
whispering to my this person next to me something, I guess.
Yeah.
Same thing when they were when Meghan first met the Queen and they had that outing together. The first outing, I think she said.
Yeah, I've got pictures from
Where-
that coming up.
Where where the Queen was laughing and then the media said we don't often see her smiling. And then
Yeah.
they were wondering
Apparently
what they were
we never
saying
do.
to each other.
We never did. Okay. Yeah. Okay. See, these are all happy kind of pics. See, smiles. They're having a chat. The Queen's having a wave.
Do you know anything about the uniforms? Because the different colored uniforms, I was wondering for different occasions, what would they be? Do you know? Because they're sometimes wearing the blues and then they're wearing the reds and then they're wearing because in Canada
It might be rank. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Well, they're sometimes wearing the dark colors and then other occasions they're wearing the.
I know what the badges are. Okay. So each one of these is like the Queen's like coronation. He would have got one because he was born. Okay, like each like jubilee, whatever they call, like 10 years or whatever. Whenever they have those big things, they get a medal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
After
Yeah.
so many years of service, right?
Yeah. Okay. So Harry would also have some real ones from like when he was in Afghanistan.
Yeah, because what he said, he had spent 10 years
Yeah,
in the army.
and 2 tours.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that he'd done one because he had to come home because the media found out he was there.
Mm.
Maybe that was the end of his second, or maybe he went back after that. Yeah. There's
Yeah, because
Meghan
William
doing-
was also in the army, but he wasn't there for very long. I don't think that.
I don't think he was like. I think it was more of an honorary rank.
Yeah, there's this kind of like, I think it's just the kind of thing that they kind of like had to do because I'm pretty sure Charles
Yeah.
served as well, but I don't think because obviously being like in line for the throne, William wouldn't have been able to actually go off to Afghanistan.
Well, there's enough heirs
I remember when Princess Anne even was honored, I think, before the king was, when they were younger, after so many years of service.
Okay. This photo looks so awkward.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. It's just like
Were they socially distant?
they just had a fight. They just had an argument about something. Okay.
Maybe they were socially distancing.
Okay.
Oh, Kate looks
Kate
horrible
looks really
there.
upset.
My
She looks like
God.
her eyebrows up like.
She looks
She
like she
does
spent
not look
half the night
impressed.
crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
They were in church or something. They can't be a funeral because they're too happy. And not in black. Okay.
Right, William was a helicopter pilot and worked in search and rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the UK in early days of his marriage before gradual step up. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember, wasn't it that that Harry had a higher rank than William, and I think someone was saying something about that at one point because Harry had been in service longer, that he outranked his older brother.
I'm
Yeah, I
sure
think I
that's
remember
probably
seeing that.
true for like Andrew and Charles. Because
Mm.
Andrew served in the Falklands War. Prince
Oh.
Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
That's
one good thing anyone's got to say about him. He served the country once. Again.
That's what I thought happened with Princess Anne, like,
Yeah.
and Charles.
Okay. See, that looks like a genuine smile to me.
Yeah.
Mm.
Perhaps in the movie.
That looks like someone said something concerning.
Watch out for the media.
Yeah.
They're here.
Now this is the one you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a few pictures here.
I loved that one where even the media noticed that
Yeah.
it's the first time they've seen after all these years that
Yeah.
the Queen was smiling and having fun
And giggling.
they're not used to seeing that. Yeah.
I think that was like her first ever outing with the Queen alone as well.
That
Oh,
picture on the
wow.
right is my favorite. Yeah, that's the first outing they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, where she's like, hee hee hee.
Yeah. And then this is the funeral. I think this is where we end this slideshow.
Oh, she was kneeling. What was she kneeling? What was she
Oh,
doing
she
there?
was doing the like
Oh,
bowing
there-
down.
That
This
was
is a
for the
famous-
monument. All right, when people were going around
where
paying
the-
their respects to the
Yes.
monument. Yeah.
It,
Okay.
when the body was lying in state, like
Yeah.
in the wall. Okay. So
It's a public week. That was sad.
is there anything that we want to say? Okay, Texas Jen feels like Meghan is always posing. I don't know, like there's some pictures, okay, which I just showed that you can see that this is really forced. And I'm
Well,
trying,
you kind
for
of
that.
be aware that there are a lot of cameras.
yeah.
You know what I
She
mean?
never knows where it's coming from either. It's always all over the place, and so she probably have a perma smile on your face.
She's like,
Face.
even
Yeah,
if I'm not
kind of
happy,
always
I'll-
just be ready going, okay, well, someone's going to be constantly taking photos of me. I'm constantly under scrutiny, like I've got to be on, my best behavior.
I don't know,
Does
is it
your
just
face
me?
all the time? Yeah.
Or do you think that having watched this, that you've got a more positive impression of Meghan now than what you did going in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say absolutely. Yeah.
So do I.
Because yeah, but I never really got into following all of the announcements. and things
It's-
like
it's
that
on my
over the
radar,
last
but
few
only-
years. But yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like a focus of mine. So
It's not.
Going into it, I didn't really have any judgments or anything like that, but watching this absolutely opened my eyes to it a lot more, and what she went through, and what they went through, and what had happened over the years. You know, you get tidbits of information, and then when you really look further into it, then you realize, whew, that was intense, you know.
Yeah.
But
It's. Yeah, like
I think
they're on the peripheral. Like I see
live
them.
their lives, you know, and be happy.
But and just, but like I watched the wedding. I will admit that. Okay, but like I don't go buy a magazine because it's got them on the cover or something. Okay, or, okay, and I don't even really read magazines anymore, except for the ones right behind me. Okay. No, they're all magazines.
Oh.
But I buy these for
wow.
covers. Okay.
Oh.
Have you ever seen like the New Yorker covers? They're just really cool.
Some of them.
Covers. Okay. So I subscribed because it was only like $2 for 6 months.
That was pretty good.
Sweet. And now look, I got a collection.
It's so cool. It's so cool that people are still buying magazines and stuff, you know, because we're so used to seeing articles online and things. But people still subscribe and receive paper version of the magazine. I think that's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Totally what I would use.
We're almost
I curl up
done.
in bed with a book, and then you don't have to have the blue light in your eyes.
I've got
all the
books
time.
too. Yeah. This is my bookcase. I've got another one. And boxes of books. But yeah, nowhere to put them. Okay.
There's nothing like
Is there
pulling
anything
out a
we
good
want to
book.
say before we pop off? Because Jade Star is streaming in a few minutes, where everyone can find Robin next.
in chat, not on panel. I'm not going to be on panel. But it's okay. We don't have to end it.
I'll have to go to work
just,
soon.
Just for
anyway,
that,
so
but
yeah,
we can
I have to get ready for work.
add in her. Jade Star is a singer, and she's doing interviews. She does interviews with other musicians, and she's very excited about this upcoming interview. And it's going to be a surprise, she said. So I'll just add in that page into the chat if anybody wants to check it out. Let me just go and find it.
I'll squab him saying sorry about the creature comment. And apparently, we all look, including you, Ash, okay, as though we dress special for this broadcast.
Oh my God, I didn't even put makeup on.
I actually
literally
did,
got
but
home
then
from
I
the
was
gym,
afterwards.
quickly got changed and made a coffee and jumped on.
Oh, I got
I am
my
wearing,
icon all
the-
nice dressed up.
Yeah, I am actually
Always
dressed up.
looking fabulous, Ash.
Oh yeah.
I like it. I like the grey instead of the black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill Gould is the person she's interviewing today. But I was kind of in a rush too. I just kind of made it a little late, but I'm here. I was so worried I was going to be so late.
How dare you?
I know. It just
Coming
nothing
from me who
lined
was
up.
late.
Nothing lined up for me today. Today. It was just like one thing
Oh
after
no.
the other. And then when your power
Yeah, I
went
had
out,
microphone
Ash, I just
issues
went,
before I jumped on.
Me too. What is that? I don't know.
I thought I did, but it turned out just to be Melanie's volume.
Let me see it.
Squaw Bob. Ash probably still has squabble blood on her.
I'm so bummed. I managed to catch the first little bit of the stream yesterday, Ash, and then I'm like, oh, then I had to like jump on the bus to like go into the venue, and I'm like, damn it, I can't heckle anymore.
I know. Apparently, I wasn't doing a good enough job because he's like,
Yes,
we
you
need
were.
a Mel in the room. I'm like, I'm trying, but I just He's too quiet now.
Yes,
He's too
he's
quiet. He's just
learning.
like-
There's no shut up, Mel. Shut up, Mel.
I think there's gonna
It's
be.
too easy. He makes it too easy.
I know, but and
Yes, he
then
does.
he does make it very easy.
I love it.
But he's too quiet now. So that's the
Yes.
thing. Now we're all razzing
Yeah.
him because he's just too
He's
quiet.
learning though that if you
Oh,
scream,
yeah.
he gives away his position.
Yeah.
Who told him that? We should have told him that.
I know. Damn it. Why does he have to learn? Why does he have to get better? It's no fun.
Now he's just corner camping. He's hiding in corners and scaring the crap out of me.
Yeah, but remember, now he's cheating. He's just sneaking up on you behind you all the time.
That is
Yes.
not fun. Okay.
It's dirty playing.
Dirty,
play.
dirty.
Dirty play.
Okay. Cake. Yeah, the first 3 episodes I think are worth watching. Okay, and then in the last 3, and even the
Thank you, Texas
3rd
Jen.
episode, just fast forward whenever it's an expert. Okay, whenever they bring
Well,
in an
I'm
expert,
partway through episode 4 and I haven't minded it so far.
Yeah,
But
I liked
which
it.
one does Boozy come into? Is he come into it during 4?
yeah.
Oh, I'm not up to that yet, damn.
I think I
I'm
might have
speaking
fallen
too
asleep
soon.
through that. I might have fallen asleep. That's probably why I didn't catch that because I fell asleep through a little bit of episode 4, and then when I woke up, I started right off with the episode 5 and 6. So, but yeah. But now I'm
It's,
gonna want to look.
And
at
thank you, Texas Jen. I just saw the comment.
Yeah, that's what I just saw too before. She's so sweet.
Okay. I can't do anything without Link. But if everyone wants to head over there and join Robin in the chat, I guess. And thank you for joining us, and welcome. Thank you for our very first stream on this channel. You know, hit like, subscribe, and all that stuff. We very much appreciate
Do
it.
all the YouTube
Yes.
things.
Don't forget
Because it
to
is
check
our
out.
first thing on this channel specifically.
Yeah, and don't forget to check out all of our channels too. I do music, and Crystal does her videos that are so fun and
In other words, there's no explanation for my videos. It's just
well, it's current topics. And don't forget to check out Mel's channel for her advent calendar because that's really fun.
I
and
eat
interesting,
chocolate.
too.
and actually,
I think it was Guava that said she's not here because she's gone eating chocolate. That's what he said. She's too busy eating chocolate. And Ash, are you gonna have another stream next week for the guava competition?
Maybe, maybe not. It depends. We will see. Because it's nearing Christmas, and I am not sure what Christmas plans are, so
Right.
we will see what happens. There may be a last
Hopefully,
fight
if you
before
do
the end
another
of the
one,
new year.
I'll be there.
We need you there. We need you there. We need you there.
okay, all of our links are on the homepage of this YouTube channel. Okay, if you scroll down a bit, okay, it'll have all of our channels listed or in the About section. Okay.
Takes me a little bit longer to post things because the song process is a little longer than.
But there's lots of content there from like over the years that could keep you listening to music that Robin's done for you a while.
I've got to get brushed up on my my Christmas songs because there's a few Christmas songs that I wanna get up there and.
Yes.
Yeah. And I have a couple in mind, and that'll be upcoming too. To keep an eye out for
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It'll be fun, and maybe we'll
Thank
end
you,
up doing.
Cake.
Maybe we'll end up doing a Christmas stream. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If any of
Oh, that'd be cool.
I'm hoping to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So look out for that. And if you subscribe, you'll probably get a notification about it. So
Subscribe.
okay, so if that's all, I think we'll say bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.